fall just around the corner. I know my garden, and maybe your garden, plentiful. Time to pull all those plants and fruits and vegetables. Farmers markets loaded with all that great produce.
Lifestyle and parenting expert Sherry French is here today with smart and creative ways to lengthen the life of your produce so you can enjoy them through the winter months. And even if you're not an expert, hey, good morning.
That would be me.
Good morning. That would be me. And I'm here to dazzle you guys, especially Todd, who I hear has cherry tomatoes.
Oh, we have so many cherry tomatoes. That's all we planted this first time through.
Let me help you with those.
A couple hundred of them so far. So how do we enjoy these when it's January?
All right, so I've got 4 different ways. And like you said, you don't have to be an expert, whether you have your own garden or are going to that farmer's market that I'm going to every other day. So let's talk first about freezing. The most important thing is labeling. How many times do you put something in your freezer, me, and I go to look at it how much longer, and I have no idea what it is and how long ago. So freezer bags with the date and what it is, and why I also like freezer bags, you can lie them on top of each other so you maximize that freezer space. Now, when it comes to freezing, blueberries, peaches, strawberries, grab some parchment paper, your cookie sheet, line it, put the berries on top, put it into your freezer, get them frozen, and then they go into your freezer bags.
Oh, I've been doing that wrong.
Yeah, so they don't
I've just been dumping them into the freezer bag.
Nope, freeze them first and then put them into the freezer bag.
Oops. That is a great idea.
All right.
Okay, genius.
Okay.
All right, so let's move on to a vegetable. So beans, I actually have beans at my house and they are plentiful. But what you have to do before you freeze beans is blanch them. Blanching is when you run a pot of boiling water. For beans, you're gonna put 2 to 3 minutes in the scalding water, immediately take them out and put them into an ice bowl. So I've got ice and water. That does the blanching, and what it does, it keeps the color, it keeps the nutrients, stops the enzymes from going. Grab a paper towel, dry off your beans, and then put them into your freezer bag. So you gotta blanch, and you can blanch many other things. Apples, depending on the time, but 2 to 3 minutes if you've got extra beans, and have them all winter long.
Yeah, you get them all cooked up and then stop that cooking. Hit the pause button. Boy, important part there to dry them off before you put them in. Otherwise, those ice crystals and that water is going to ruin them.
Yeah.
You got to get them dry. All right, so this one is amazing. I do not have a dehydrator. Apparently, Andrea does, so she's pretty fancy. What this does, I've actually done both apples and these cherry tomatoes. So first with apples, you're just going to slice them, put them on a cookie sheet at 200 with some cinnamon sugar on top, and they become, after an hour, chips. So you've got apple chips. So easy. But this one is crazy. So sun-dried tomatoes, we have been making them every night for the past 2 weeks because they get eaten before they even get frozen. So sun-dried tomatoes, you're just gonna take those cherry tomatoes, cut them in half, put them face up on your cookie sheet, 225 for 3 hours, mix them. I did thyme and oregano, and they turn into these amazing sun-dried tomatoes that if you don't eat them every night like we are doing, you can then freeze them, keep them for salads in the winter months, and then just soak them in water or even oil when you're ready to take them out and use them.
Ooh, those sound, there you go. That's what you do with your tomatoes.
Easy.
All of these things so far, are easy. Things that I can actually do. But canning always intimidates me.
Tedious, yeah.
I don't have the canning skills, but I'm telling you, you can do this. And both my daughter and husband are obsessed with pickles. I don't like them, but you can do canning in your fridge. So make fridge pickles. All you need is, remember these ball jars? So if you are canning or you've done these as your desktop storage like we did a few weeks ago, take your mason jar, cut your little cucumbers into quarters or halves, depending on what size you want. You'll then add some dill and some garlic, soak them in then some cider, apple cider vinegar and water, 2 to 3 days on your counter, away from the sun with the lid a little bit loose. Taste them to make sure it's soaked all the way through. Then after that 2 to 4 days, tighten them, put them in your fridge. I've made about 6 of these. I have 2 left. These are gonna last up to 6 months in your fridge. No canning required.
I like that. No
That'd
canning
be good
required.
in my Bloody Mary.
That's a quick can. I love that. All right, so now I know how to keep those cucumbers. throughout the winter months. And those cherry tomatoes, I'm going to try that, sun-dried tomatoes.
My
apple
grandmother
chips,
always,
all these
she
things.
called those refrigerator pickles. She had those all the
really?
time. She made all different types of those, but
Fridge
they're really
pickles.
good.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely going to try those apple chips too. Sherry,
Yeah.
thank you so much. All great tips. You want to find out all of those how-tos and some recipes, just visit Sherry's Instagram account. It is @MomHint. Thanks again, Sherry.
Thanks, Sherry.